Oops. All of this just for a 2x2. Yeah, the upkeep is crazy. But I mean, 8K metal is manageable. I mean, that's still only 2 layers of honeycomb. For the top, there's this and then there's that, so they just go in through the ceiling. Which brings me to how would I go about doing this? Like, I mean, putting all the honeycomb all the way back up through. I mean, I guess I could do that. Because it'll still force them to come through the walls, but like... yeah, I've gotten to the point where I don't want to continue this. It just seems like such a waste. And what was I doing? I think I was doing 5. So if they come in through the wall, it'd be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Get into the interior. 5 from there, and then I think 4 from here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I do 4 layers, I mean, I guess I should just make it out of the full wall. But the full wall makes it difficult to get around, like... So if I do... I mean, I would need 3 more half-wall stacks just in the center. And I guess I could fake it for the outside walls, like, I mean, because this is going to be unusable space. And the exterior could still be the big, scary, tall wall, like. Because they're more than likely just going to come down through the center anyhow. But so long as I make it match and they come down through the center, I mean. But this skips 2 whole layers of the interior. Well, I guess I gotta look at it like that too, is if they come through the top part, then they still have to go through that. So that'd be 1, 2, and then 3, and then 4, and then 5. So yeah, okay. I can leave this part empty. And it just looks like it's full of space. I mean, then there's the other part is I could make this usable space. Because what's the point of having this big giant base if you don't have any stuff in it, if it's just a 2x2? But this interior has to be solid. This interior does have to be solid. Which is kind of a waste of space, but I mean, it kind of has to be because if you try to make it usable space, you're gonna have to put doors on it. And they're just gonna blast through the doors, so what's the point of having the metal honeycomb? I mean, are these walls really gonna kill me if I do this? Like... As far as upkeep and blocks go, like, as long as the interior, I guess, is, you know, honeycombed to crap, like... All this just for a 2x2. And I know it's ridiculous, but I'm doing it anyway. So this would be the 3rd layer. So this up here would be the 3rd layer for the center. And then anybody thinking, well, if they look at this, they're just going to come through the airlock. Well, the airlock costs the same amount of rockets as this does, if you just blow the doors out. It does? Yes, yes it does. I mean, what a huge waste of space. But again, I've never built like a tower before, or a bunker, or... I mean, it just seems like such a waste of time and materials and effort. So I'm kind of learning as I go. But again, this is a testing video, this is not a how-to video. I mean, I'm thinking about making this usable space. What I think I'm doing, like... I guess I could get away with making the half-wall cap come over to here. And something that I've never used was an elevator. So I'm kind of curious to see how an elevator works. I know you need to power the thing. Can you stack them? Is that how you do it? You stack them? Right, but then that means that that's going to need honeycomb. And I would put it over here, except this is just to block them easily getting into this wall for the airlock. Can you put walls on this? Oh, nice. Okay. The output's on the other side. That's real descriptive. No, that's right, they're over here. Where's the inputs for this thing? Okay. I guess that's not the main power, though. All elevator. The power things on here. I guess the call elevator is what powers it, I guess. So if I slap like a button or something. Crap, the half wall, right? And then you can't make the elevator go up to a half wall. I don't think you can. I'm pretty sure the answer is no. Yet. Of course not. Well, I mean, I guess the only other thing to do is to make this part a half wall. Stick the elevator on that. But that's so stupid to have to do that. No. No, I mean... I mean, I guess it's either that, if I want to use an elevator, and I just make all of this a half wall again. I mean, I'm probably already up to like 8,000 or 9,000 metal, like 10,000. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, part of me wants to start over, but I don't know how I would start over. And then all of this just to honeycomb a 2x2. I mean, what a tremendous waste of space and time and materials. And it's not a waste in the sense of the testing part because yeah, like I don't even know what I would fit in a 3x3. Because that is the point of testing, was the other part that I was gonna say is, I mean, if I tried to build this in a actual world in an actual server, like, you say I don't want to delete it because yeah, like, the other thing I want to test is, can you slap a ladder on this part right here? It does say that you can, but it won't allow you to. Like, you used to be able to slap ladders on these things. I guess you still can. I mean, you used to even be able to slap ladders on the, on the pieces of a triangle. Like, if you did like a wall with a piece of triangle on it, like say that's their house, you used to be able to tack the ladder right like that, like, you know, you can put twigs on people's houses. No, that still works. Oh, you can't jump up over it anymore? Or is it just not high enough? So it used to be you could just jump right over their wall and then use med kits when you got to the other side, and it looks like that still works. I don't know why it destroyed the other ladder. Unless the ladder was taking damage from the barbed wire? No? I guess they were connected ladders, I guess. I don't think you can slap a ladder on a ladder. No. Why did that other one... I guess... That's weird behavior. But no, this is a total waste. Just for a 2x2 with unusable space. Which kind of brings me back to the snaking airlock thing, like... I mean, what does it cost to craft an elevator? Only 3 high quality metals. Actually pretty cheap. And doesn't really require much power. I don't know what the blast resistance on it is though, it's probably pretty low. It says 600. So it should be 3 rockets. Okay, so you can't shoot it there. Can you shoot it through the ceiling part? Yeah, you can shoot it in the ceiling. It's probably going to be about 3 rockets to get rid of the ladder, or elevator. Yeah, this is frustrating. I mean, I guess if I did a 3x3 base. I mean, I don't even know what kind of crap you'd be able to fit in a 3x3 base. You do the airlock. How would I go about doing the honeycomb? And then there's that's still only three walls. This is the part where it starts getting uneven. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, that would be 4 walls. You see, then this side is 1, 2, 3. So to add the 4th wall to it, that's also 1, 1, 2, 3. But out here it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from here too. 1, 2, 3, 5. One, two, three, four, five. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I guess it is even. Except for out here it is not. So it's these that are 1, 2, 3. Need to add 2 more. I guess if I just add triangles. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, this is ridiculous. So that's the footprint that you would need. So that would be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from that side. And then from this side, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that's even. That's 5 walls. So if you make them all 5 metal walls, the nice part is you have the triangle airlock, that you can extend the triangles out and put garage doors in there. So it would be what, 7 times 5? That'd be 35 rockets to just blast through the walls. So that means that you'd need 5 layers of honeycomb on the top. And the problem that I'm running into is, what part do I honeycomb? Do I just put a 5-wall cap on the very center in case they drill through the center? Because I mean, if they don't, I mean, I'm still gonna need some type of structural. And then trying to make it usable space. And then looking at this and then thinking, like, I can fit a workbench level 2 and 6 big boxes in just this space. And then all of this should just be honeycomb. It is pretty. And it is even. And I know that I gotta put metal walls through the whole base of it. And I'm gonna need 5 layers of ceiling. But should I just do the 5 layers of ceiling first? Because trying to do each layer by layer is like is confusing to try to do it that way. And then it's only 56 stable. But stability is only important in a raid if, you know, they knock out the base of a tower. And do I want to do half walls or whole walls? And if I do whole walls, then and garage doors are about half of what a freaking metal wall is. But if I wanted to make it usable and I made garage doors, I mean, I still kind of want to do an elevator, so I don't really want to do half walls. Because if I do an elevator and then I use half walls, I'm going to run into that problem I ran into before. See, this all just seems like wasted space. And it's gonna be wasted space if I do a half wall. But since this is gonna be the airlock, and it's unlikely that they're gonna rocket the walls. They're probably just gonna rocket the base. So if I only honeycomb the base, the bottom part, I mean, if they're smart, they would climb up top and rocket the, but see, I could leave all of this interior space here open, and they would never know. It would shorten the raid time if they happen to get in the interior and see that there's a door. But if I just put walls on the outside of this and just made it hollow, on the second layer anyway, this would be a whole floor of space to do crap with. They'd still have to blow through this wall to get in there. And I could put an airlock, make it equal to a metal wall for them, like if they drill down through this part by mistake, instead of going through the center. I mean, if they go through the center, and I have stuff in each layer, I mean, you know, whatever, I'll put like mixing tables or other usable crap, or like just storage just for random crap. I mean, I could even put a berry farm in it because it's gonna have like 5 floors. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I'm kind of liking this one a lot better. Trying to make a, I don't think I'm using the word properly, but to make a properly tessellating pattern between the squares and the squares and the triangles. So I think that's what, a 43-degree angle. It looks like it's an equilateral triangle because it's not 45. If it was 45, it would be half of this and it wouldn't be It'd have to be half of the square to be 45. But yeah, if I put an airlock here that equaled a metal wall, they'd have to go through 5 layers of metal. Which, I mean, that's still more than double of what my 2x2 was. And this seems to be working out easier as far as making equal sides on everything. Like, the whole base is going to be honeycombed, but the upper layers, I think I'm going to leave them hollow. Because even if they do get into the hollow layer, I mean, it's real unlikely that they're going to, like, be at the base and then shoot at the middle of a tower. It's possible, but it's really unlikely. They're either going to go in through the airlock, through the walls, or through the ceiling. It's real unlikely that they're just going to pick some random spot to go through in the middle. So they're just going to assume that it's as honeycombed on every floor. I'm assuming that that's what they're going to assume, because that would be the smart thing to assume. But then I get 5 floors of usable space. I have no idea what I would even put in there. I have no idea what I would even, like... I mean, I'm so used to living in, like, a 2x2 or a 1x2, like... And the amount of crap that I can fit in one of those things is, like... And then if I didn't want to make it, well, I do kind of want to make it a taller base. I mean, the upkeep on this thing is going to be insane, but it's not going to be as bad because I'm using, I'm just going to honeycomb the base. So they can't just sit on the ground and then shoot at it. Which that was a mistake that I made. Well, not mistake, but for the sake of testing. That's what I screwed this up. This is like 40,000 stone or whatever, and this is not an intentional hole. I just broke it out to see how many layers I had. Yeah, it was 33,000 stone. And then I screwed this up because I guess I'm trying to accomplish the same thing, but using the half wall cap was a mistake, and doing it with just a 2x2 is a huge waste of honeycomb. But again, like, I know I keep saying this, but that is the point of testing. But I'm kind of liking this. I'm kind of liking this a lot, like. And then there's that, is, do I even have to build the outer wall? I mean, if I don't build the outer wall, then I'll lose out on using all of this space on each floor. And, like, I could just wall off this part, but since I can put as many garage doors as it takes to get through there, and since they're probably going to blast through the ceiling anyhow, so if I just start with a 3x3 base, I mean, it's a 3x3, and they're gonna, but this is gonna be the footprint on it. It's pretty significant footprint. Now I'm kind of getting some hope here. Again, I've never built a big giant base before. Because I was always able to get by without using one. And then there's that is... So right about here is where the tool cabinet stops. So like right around this rock here. So I just throw this triangle thing down as a placement thing. I'm out of wood. So right about here. So if I come out from here. If I do 2 more of these. I guess put a triangle here, just to make it look like a wall preservation triangle or something. See, now this triangle is going to connect to everything. So I gotta put this tool cabinet down before I put the other tool cabinet down. So now this is going to be the older tool cabinet. As I put this one down afterward. Let me try and connect it that way. So the easiest way to do that is to just have an extra triangle, because you can't add stuff to your base that's not already there. I mean, I guess just on this corner, like if you build off the centerpiece, you can always rebuild these from the triangle. But as long as you have a door frame with a garage door on it, like, I mean, for one, they might think that's the other airlock, and for two, it's just going to be an extra space. And they might save a handful of rockets, but to be able to easily reclaim the tool cabinet, no, it's totally worth it. So that works out pretty good. So let me take a picture of that because I'll forget. Oh, see, right, I gotta delete the other stuff before I do the... This is within the building privilege of the triangle now. I mean, the alternative is that if I just leave it with the honeycomb, and I guess, put an extra square. Well, you kind of need it on a triangle, and that works. Just do that. Well, would it work if I did a square or a triangle? Let me test that. Let's try the square first. So, if I wanted to reclaim the base from this triangle, I come over here. So I can't do that. I can do a triangle here. If I have a door frame on this, will it connect the two door frames if I do that? It will not let me do that. Okay. If I had a triangle though, triangle should come right out to here. If I just had a random looking door frame or two garage doors or something. That does not work. Okay. What about a second triangle? Maybe a square? If you have the extra squares sticking off there, that meets up. So if you have just a square with a door on it, and you do this. Yes! So that works. But yeah, no, that trick still works. And I'm pretty sure that that's what the point of having the external tool cabinets was initially. But somehow it got, like, misunderstood. I get hiccups. It got, like, misunderstood. And people did, like, the two bases that align with each other. So, let me do the honeycomb on the bottom. It's funny, it does look very much like a honeycomb. Now, after this, since I'm only doing the layout and the upgrading doesn't really matter, at least not for layout purposes, because I do need practice rebuilding this thing to try to remember how to build it. But I think this is going to be my go-to for building a big base, because that's kind of the other problem that I'm running into is, like, I do a pretty good job of accumulating stuff. And since it's just me that accumulates it, like, I don't typically have a high loss ratio. Like, I'm usually pretty sneaky. And if I do get into a fight, and if it is, you know, if it's a relatively fair fight, I mean, I can hit shots. So long as I'm not getting shot in the back of the head by their buddy with a freaking nail gun, like, I mean, I can kill people in the game, like, so it's not a matter of that, like, it's not a skill issue. But the thing that I'm running into the game, like, is, and I knew it before I built it, I knew it when I said it, I don't want to put all my eggs in one basket. And those people satcheled the freaking door off, which, you know, I expected them to come back, they never came back, and I never put my stuff in the other houses as a backup. So, yeah, that and part of me kind of feels like I'm getting stream sniped, like, even just a little bit. Especially with the water treatment versus coming out the harbor, and to have people at both locations when I killed that dude in the tunnels. I mean, then you factor in people crying in chat because they got killed and they want their stuff back. And the reason that I'm not bothering to upgrade this is because I'm thinking I'm gonna look into installing an oxide mod for building. And I'm pretty sure oxide is the thing that you use to do mods, for one. And for two, you know, you can just set it up to, you throw down a thing and it automatically upgrades whatever crap. In addition to, like, you start with the one mod, you get the one mod working, and then you see another mod, and it's kind of like World of Warcraft with add-ons. You go that entire time playing just pure vanilla mode without any add-ons, and then you try your first one. And then it's like, well, that works pretty good. And then you start relying on it, and then you start looking for other ones, and it's like a runaway train. I mean, there's a meme that describes it. It's a person that doesn't want to try something, and then they try one of them, and then it's like, holy crap, it's like some gothic girl or metalhead web comic. It's a pretty good comic. I don't know what the name of it is, but somebody turned it into a meme about World of Warcraft add-ons, and by the end panel they're just shoveling the whole bowl of crap into their face, and they, you know, in the case that it's add-ons. And since I don't look up how to build things, there's a very good chance that this matches somebody else's, and the reason why it probably does match somebody else's is there's only so many solutions. But I swear that I don't look up anybody else's crap. I'm not trying to take credit for anybody else's crap. I'm just putting that out as a disclaimer. This is me sitting here trying to puzzle this out myself. And the reason that I like to do that is because I have a tendency to think of things that other people don't, like this. So why would I want to give up the opportunity to think of something that somebody else hadn't thought of? And you can't do that if you just copy whatever anybody else did. So 5, let me look up the math here. Use that inaccurate chart. So if I go off of rockets, people are going to use 8 instead of using 7. So 8 rockets for a piece of metal, and I'm gonna have 5 layers of metal, so that's 40 rockets, and so 10 garage doors would be 30 rockets, and I need another 10. Need another 10 rockets worth, so it'd be like 14 garage doors. I mean, I don't want to make a snaking airlock that goes out around the house. I kind of just want to come straight off of the house to see what it looks like. So 1, 2, 3, 4. I need 10 more, and then a door. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and then a door. But that airlock is going to have honeycomb triangles on it. Probably a square by the thing, but then... And it's probably going to need its own half-wall cap at least. But I can fit a crap load of furnaces and boxes in there. And then it's just a straight shot into the house. And then since I'm not doing half walls here, I can make this the elevator spot. But you'd have to have this many garage doors to be the 40 rockets that the base equals. And I know that anybody thinking, watching this, is they're just gonna blast through this. Well, not if it's honeycombed. Not if it's got its own triangles on it. But no, I gotta get a build mod. Something that both tabulates my building costs and gives me the number of blocks. It gives me data on my build, what I have to do. I know that they're out there. I don't know the particulars of the particular ones, but I mean, I do know that they exist. But in order for it to be equal from the straight through the ceiling, or in order for it to be equal, and then there's that, is if I don't have enough garage doors going to the interior of the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th floor, and the 5th floor, I mean this might not even be buildable. I mean, it might not even be viable relative to survival mode stuff, like... But trying to do just pure honeycomb for the sake of honeycomb, I mean, yeah, you're getting the raid resistance, but it's like a total waste of space and effort and time and materials. Like, I might hit a structural issue. I'm down to 49% stable. Which in that case, I'll just put like garage door or door frames in the center here. Yeah, looking at this, anybody that sees that is just gonna assume that the whole thing is honeycombed. You know, within a certain scale on the bell curve of people, like... So that's only 1, 2, and I need 3 more layers. I mean, I guess I can make the other 3 floors just tower. But no, I want to see what it looks like this, like... The amount of storage that I'm gonna have in this freaking thing, though, holy crap. And then, again, like, if they came in right from the roof, that would be 4 down, and then they get to the base that's honeycombed. If they go through the outside, if they go through the center, it's only, what, 5 blocks? It's 5 tiles, but... But any base is just some amount of sulfur. And people's determination to knock it down, so. I was getting frustrated between being tired last night and freaking not really making what I felt like any kind of progress. But no, I think the 3x3 is the way to go. And it would be a total waste if the whole thing was just honeycomb. Which I gotta break these walls out. I mean, this is just more space than I even know what to do with. And since I don't have walls on each individual one of these things, I'm saving on my upkeep and block cost, while also getting space, while also looking like it's honeycombed. So that's one ceiling, two ceilings, three ceilings. I need two more. But yeah, I mean, this is already kind of feeling kind of excessive as per, like, game limitations. Like, I mean, I guess rather than make the airlock go that whole way, I guess I could do that as I put the same airlock. Because if I don't do that and I just have an empty tunnel, they'll just blast through the empty tunnel and then run in through here, so. There goes my block costs. The alternative is if I put the elevator like right here. And then honeycomb at least, what, the base or the outside of it. But I mean, the same problem still happens, is that I mean, I guess I could just put the elevator in the inside. Which I kind of like that idea. Except, they blast through the roof and then... Yeah. They blast through the roof and then, oh look, there's an elevator. Oh look, the little room. That looks cool. Looks like it's walking. So I mean, I'm gonna have to duplicate the airlock for each floor. Kind of made me think of somebody that tried to build a hotel and coax people to live in their hotel. It's like, I'm sure that other house that's by the road with the SAM sites and the server is, I'm sure that's a trap house. This is excessive. This is crazy. There's no way I'd be able to keep up with the upkeep costs of this. I mean, I guess if I made the upper part stone, but I mean... if I made the floors metal and the walls stone on the interior... I mean, again, because they're probably not gonna look at this and be like, if we throw a ladder up here and blast through this middle part and then climb through the middle... they're probably gonna assume that it's all just honeycomb. No, but see, then if they don't assume that and they do just blast through like the second floor, I mean, the path of least resistance, I mean. And then to build this all out of twigs. And not bother upgrading anything. And then only rebuild it. I mean, this is already up to 4,000 wood with twigs, like... oh my god, like this is no. And I mean, like, the amount of storage that you would get from this. Because I'm pretty sure, like, if you go up to each one of these walls, like, you could throw a freaking... like, right here, you could throw 3 shelves. And right there, there's 12 big boxes. I mean, with space to put, like, big boxes on the floor, I mean... I know this is excessive. I'm not pretending that this is gonna be a viable thing. The pattern I want to use for the honeycomb is true. But I'm thinking about... No, I mean, this is already past the point of being viable. Like, you'd have to split half of it between stone and half of it between metal. And then have the core be, like, high quality, I guess. Like, this whole section, but in the bottom, made out of high quality. That's 1 ceiling, 2 ceiling, 3 ceiling, and this is going to be the 4th ceiling. Which feeling has come back again of like, this kind of feels hopeless. I doubt it, but I also wouldn't be surprised if it did exist. But a mod that allowed you to do like blueprints of buildings, or just copy and paste sections of buildings. But then again, like, it kind of seems like the Rust community, like, kind of seems like there's less people of like developmental level than there is people that are just people that play the game. But if you look at like a game like Team Fortress 2 and you go over to Game Banana and just the amount of people that make the amount of crap for the game, like, I mean, I know that another part of it is like the SDK is free for Steam, so like, I mean, that's a big part of it, but like, there's also tons of like valid documentation, which Rust and its information that's available on the internet is really kind of spotty. And then it's funny to think that I wonder that how much of that is the reason that people that have found something that works, they don't want everybody else to know their secret, is probably how the reasoning goes. Like, and the bad part is, it's kind of true because you see people doing like really kind of not like well-informed things. And then I guess they succumb to the feeling of hopelessness and either give up playing or just continue doing stuff like the wrong way. And the wrong way as far as like objectivity goes. And yeah, I was thinking about putting windows on this thing. But I mean, the windows kind of make it obvious that it's hollow. So, what are we at here? I think that's only the fourth one. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so no, we're good. I mean, the upkeep on this thing is insane. You're gonna spend more time farming stuff to put into it, and it doesn't even have the airlock put on it. Brings me back to the elevator, is like, I mean, they break through the first door and there's an elevator. And I mean, I guess as far as rateability goes, I mean, like, the lower floor that you allow them access to easier, and yet you don't really want to have an elevator on the closer part of the airlock, which means that you'd have to replicate the airlock going all the way up. Is there another way to handle the elevator? And it's the same thing, like, if they blast through the ceiling part and they get access to the elevator and it just goes all the way to the bottom floor, This is already ridiculous. And then you just have this one big stupid airlock. Like, what is that? I mean, you can't put a code lock on an elevator, can you? I don't think so. There's not even any place to slap it. I mean, you'd have to like... I mean, I guess there's that, is if you... I mean, they wouldn't know that it's an elevator if you put it closer to the base. It would just be some random, it would just be another garage door. But it would allow them to skip all the garage doors if they got in like from the top and I put it right here. I just don't want to have to replicate this whole airlock on the bottom going all the way up. Because I know I'm already pushing the block limit here. Like 621 blocks, all upgraded. Oh, and the elevator counts as high quality metal? Oh, see, I didn't know that. Oh, and it counts as metal and high quality metal. Again, testing. How would I put it in the ceiling? Like, where would I put it to where they just wouldn't blast through and get access to it immediately? I mean, I'm guessing that there's a chance that they could just ignore it. If I just put it right here. How much power does it take? 5, so I'd have to have at least 15 power. That's at least a medium battery and some solar panels. But this is as sparse as I can get the blocks on the inside while still having the 5 layers of honeycomb. To the ceiling. What? The code lock was showing up all the way over there? Oh, that's a bug. Yeah, I don't want to... I mean, the smartest way to do it would be to make it so the airlock... You force them to go through the airlock every time anyway, but... to stare directly into the sun. I mean, if I want to use the airlock and I don't want to replicate, or if I want to use the elevator and I don't want to replicate the airlock to save on some blocks. I mean, I guess the easiest way to do it would be to put the thing right here. And most people don't use elevators because elevators just bypass any honeycomb and any layers of honeycomb or anything. But this would all be behind garage doors, and if they're blasting through the ground, I mean, there's a chance that they could try to blast through the garage door. But it's more than likely that they're just going to continue to burrow through the center. Which again, the 5 layers of honeycomb kind of make it seem like a waste. Which I did have another idea. Which I'm kind of thinking about that is, if I forgo using the second floor, and add 2 more layers of honeycomb here. Well, I mean, at that point I may as well just honeycomb the whole, or at least 2 floors of the center, so if they're burrowing down through the center, it's actually not that bad of an idea. Because I still have all this outside space. And then, even if they made it through from the side to get into the inside, this would still all just be honeycomb. I mean, but it's gonna make my blocks skyrocket. So I mean, I guess to just add a few extra layers. I mean, if I did like half walls, if I removed this and just didn't use the I mean, so then there's 6 layers above the core if they decide to burrow through the middle. And I would still have all this space. Because it's gonna probably be their most likely method of attack. Which I could probably even do that on the 3rd floor. So I mean, right now it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I added, so it's 7 layers of metal is what it's gonna be. So it's 7 times 8. Was it 56, I think? That's 56 rockets. if they just picked any one of these three and then just drilled down through the middle. And this is already way too much. But I know that. I mean, I am aware of that. But right now, from the airlock, from the honeycomb on the bottom, or from the center core, they drill down through the core. Right now, this is... it's about 5 walls. It's 7 through the core because I added that half wall core part above the main core, but this is equal on all sides as far as raid resistance goes. Yeah, no structural. Yeah, there's no freaking way you'd be able to get an upkeep on this. $665 blocks. And that's without garage doors or anything else, and this is missing that honeycomb piece. Oops. Oops. Yeah, it's already more blocks than this thing. Yeah, this isn't viable. It's just too much. I mean, I could do the honeycomb pattern on the base, and then if I just did a bunch of half walls, I did like 5 half walls for the cap, and only did the interior triangles. But yeah, I think I'm gonna call it a stream here. Well, I think I'm gonna try to find a way to install a builder mod to upgrade stuff for me and keep track of everything and reduce the cost so I don't have to keep grabbing stuff out of the thing and like. But yeah, thank you for watching. Thank you for subscribing. I'm clicking the button right now.